Alright. Hi everyone, it's amazing to be here with you guys today, and thank you for joining from wherever you are. Before we dive in, let me share a quick story. A while back, I was reviewing some automated test reports when I noticed a very strange pattern. Almost every night, when when my pipeline ran, a few tests would fail, but this behavior wasn't consistent. So after digging, I realized the root cause was something deceptively simple. A button's class name had changed during a small UI tweak. And this made me realize if one innocent UI change can break an entire test suite, how can we make our tests smarter and more resilient? That's when I discovered the power of AI driven self healing. And today, we are going to explore exactly that. How how do we adapt to UI changes without constantly rewriting our tests? How can AI help us heal broken selectors and bring more stability to our pipelines? My name is Shey Camille, and in this session, we will unpack the world of adaptive test automation. We're going to focus on AI and how AI helps repair broken selectors. And then we are going to see practical implementation of that. All right, let's get into it. Now, let me ask you, how many of you have had a test fail just because an ID changed? The button still works, but your test fails. Sounds familiar, right? Now, here's the problem. Traditional automation tools rely heavily on exact selectors. And if there's any change, boom, your test fails. Now, what if your automation was smart enough to adapt? That's where AI healing, and it works in 4 steps. First of all, AI learns element patterns during test recording. When an element, if something changes, AI analyzes the DOM structure, that is the HTML structure, and it tries to find similar elements using things like position, visible text, and button type. Then this is where the magic happens. AI updates the locator strategy automatically. No manual fixes and no test reruns. In this example, the original test tries to find the submit button, but um, during a UI update, it becomes new submit button. AI says, wait, this button is in the same position, it says submit button and it's still a submit button. So it patches the test on the fly and keeps on going. All right, now that we've covered how AI helps us repair broken selectors, let's look at how this works under the hood. All right, now let's shift gears a little from the slides. I'll walk you through a real-world hands-on example of AI-powered test healing in action. Now, imagine you're running a test and the app changes slightly. Maybe a developer renames an ID. Normally, that breaks your automation, right? In this demo, we've added some AI-powered resilience. Let me show you how it works. Here we have our HTML file, the file we're actually testing. We've got basic input. We have a name, email, password, and register button. Pretty standard stuff. The goal of our test is to fill this form and click the register button. Now we are going to simulate a case where these fields, each of these fields, they get renamed. Like you see here, there are selectors, they get renamed, and we are going to see how AI steps in to recover. Let's move to the next file. Here we have AIhelpers.js. Now this is where the magic happens. Let me explain just two key functions we build. First, we have a smart fill and a smart click. In the smart fill function, we are basically saying we give all the selectors, and if they fail, it sends the HTML structure through an AI model. In our case, we're using Gemini. Like you see here, it's a lightweight AI model, and we are saying, hey, I was looking for the name field, and here's the DOM. Can you suggest another selector? That's what we are basically saying here. And for the smart click, it works exactly the same, but for clicking buttons. It's great for submit buttons that might change class, ID, or even tag. Right. We also sanitize the AI response before using it, just to keep things clean. Now let's move to the next file. Here we have selectors.json. In this file, we store all of our selectors for each field.
Yeah, you can stop recording, Shey, or you're muted.
Fallback selectors. Now notice how
You're mute. Okay.
we added broken or
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
for each field. Like you see
Sorry about that. Let me see if I can share. So where do I start? Do I start from the?
Yeah, just start from where you stopped. You're no longer on the stage. You have like 10 minutes more.
Okay.
You can stop recording. Do you want to reshare your screen?
Yes, I want to share my screen.
All right, please do.
Can you see my screen? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen, but your text is very tiny. You might want to zoom out. I don't know if the Zoom plus plus can do that or something.
Better now.
Return it. You were big. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. You can just go ahead because of time.
Oh, all right. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, we have our HTML here. So this is the HTML file I was talking about before in the video. So we have a name, email, password, and register. So we are trying to fill each of these inputs and click on the register button. All right, let's talk about the AI helpers. So this is where the magic happens. This is where the magic happens. I'll explain two functions here, the smart fill and the smart click. In the smart fill, when we are running our tests, we are basically saying we are testing for the selector and the fallback selectors. And if it fails, now we call our AI, and we are saying to AI, we try to get an element, but couldn't find it. Can you help find an alternative? And with the smart click, it does the same thing, but for clicking buttons. Let me go to the actual test. Here we have the actual test. And notice how we don't use hard-coded selectors here. In the smart field, we pass the field we are testing and the selector. This is the selector here. And we don't pass our selectors here. We don't hard code it here because we have a different class for that. We have a different class for our selectors. For the HTML page, we have these are the fields, and for each field we have an array of fallback selectors. Then we see for the name, we have a name and we have some jargons here. So we can add fallback selectors here. It's a good practice for automated tests. But I won't waste time. I'll run a test so we can see how that works. So do npx direct test, and notice here we have an ID, full name, but in the selectors file we have a name. So if you see the results here, AI is saying fail to fill name with a name and fail to fill name with this, because we don't have any. If you check our HTML, we have an ID. We have an ID full name, and it also says healed email. Sorry, yeah, AI healing for name. So AI was trying to find this selector, and it couldn't find it. So we send the page structure, the HTML structure, we sent it to AI, and AI analyzed our page and it gave us the right selector. Let me come back here. So And when we are sending prompts to AI, we are sanitizing the response to get rid of any CSS and stuff like that. In our case, we're using Gemini. It's a lightweight AI model, and it's free actually. So this is how the AI works. First, it tries to fill the input with the selectors we give here, with the fallback selectors. And if none is found, that is where AI jumps in. And AI jumps in. When AI jumps in, it suggests a selector. Let me try something else. I'll just rename the password. I'll put anything else. And in here, yeah, we'll leave this like this. And then we'll run a test again. You see here for password, it's filling password with this selector here because it's present. And so we changed the password, we changed the ID. So if we run our test now, you're going to see what happens to the password input. First, it's going to say fail to fill password with dash. Yeah, like you see here, AI says fail to fill password with password because there's no. Our idea is password and some numbers. But here we just pass password here. So when that fails, AI jumps in, like you see here, AI healing for password. So it fetches this automatically. And the goal here is there is no manual fix and there's no test runs. AI updates the test automatically and keeps going. And if you see here, our test pass. This is how this is how our HTML look, our HTML form. This is how it looks like. Okay, I think that is it for AI healing. I hope you get the idea. And the key takeaway here is AI doesn't just suggest selectors, it also heals. So we don't have to rewrite our tests manually. And that is a huge maintenance burden. So I'll open the floor for questions. I know the presentation wasn't smooth.